Are you thinking about buying a 16-inch Kink Carve BMX bike, but not sure if you have the skills to build it up? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna do an unboxing and show you how to build up this specific bike. Like always, I'm gonna tell you everything that the internet's not telling you, the other bike shops aren't telling you, and the BMX brands are not telling you. So let's get to it. There's a couple things that you need. You need some tools to build it up. You're gonna need some wire cutters. You're gonna need a utility knife, razor blade, X-Acto knife. You're gonna need a pump. You're gonna need an adjustable wrench, Allen wrench, or hex head tool. You're gonna need a pedal wrench. You're gonna need a socket extension or a multi-tool like this, which has one in it. And then the multi-tool has Allen and hex head tools as well. So you're gonna need all those and maybe some other stuff. But if you do, I'm gonna show you everything from start to finish of what comes in this box and how to build it up. So let's get to it. If you are familiar with Kink BMX and how notorious their tape is, we're gonna avoid the whole situation this go. So I'm gonna show you easiest way. Next thing. Kink Carve. Got a seat and seat post. Got the bike. Damn glue. Got a King Kong. Alright, so now you got the bike out really easy. Now it's time to build it up. Alright, we got the seat. Here's a quick trick to cut this tape, not create a headache for you. Just cut it right on the edge and then it'll pop out like so. Very easy. All right, so first off, we're gonna have the seat post. So we're gonna clamp it down, and normally you put grease on it, but we're gonna put grease on it later. But we don't wanna get our hands super greasy right now. Dude, check out that color. That color looks crazy. It looks like a fishing boat. Freaking rainbow trout right there. Mm-hmm. Crazy. All right, so once you clamp it down, put the bike in the sand. All right, got your wire cutters. Cut that one. One right here. Got the front wheel, got all the pieces, little caps. Ooh, look at those graphics. That thing is sick. Super nice bike. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build the bike from the front to the back. Starting with the front, we're gonna leave some of this stuff on here so that we know what we've worked on, what we haven't worked on, and get everything set up. First off is a stem. Usually this thing's pretty tight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen up these side bolts here. Just crack it open a little bit. Crack it open here. Boom. It's a little tight up on this little compression bolt. So it's pretty close to straight. Now I'm gonna tighten this back up. Wherever that three-way went. See the three-way on there? Now break these free. Back them out just enough so that they're loose, that you could remove them with your fingers. Basically loosen it up till the head is past the cap. Loosen them up all the way till they come free. Pull them up like so. Set it down. Next, we're gonna go to the bars. It's got a lot of packaging on it. So again, we're gonna take off the protection. And super soft grips. Such a cool sound. I don't know why I love how that sounds. It sounds like a new bike, huh? Alright, so we're gonna put the bars on facing down, but obviously put them on your bike like they're supposed to. Rotate them down. The reason why you want to do this is so that your hands are free, you're not holding the handlebars, and you can tighten up this stem most of the way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten up these bolts. There's some knurling on here, some little marks or grooves. You're gonna use that to center the handlebar. These are usually in the center, so you could evenly place it and then get your handlebars right in the center. Without those lines, it makes it pretty difficult. So those would definitely help you straighten your bars and put them in the center of your stem. This is called a stem now. If you're we're riding bikes before these, they were called a gooseneck because it had a little tube that came down and looked like a goose's neck. But now they're a stem because they don't have that little shaft. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten up this bolt here and then go catty corner here and tighten up this other bolt. And then while I'm doing that, I want to make sure that this cap is even on both sides. The same gap. So that's the last one. Alright, next is this cable. We're gonna unwind this. This thing's on the right side. I mean on the left side of the frame. Perfect. And then we got the front wheel. You gotta hide this. You can't show them R2D list. It's a competition right there. Alright, so tires always make kind of an arrow with the tread. So this one's facing forward, so if I'm on the bike, the arrow's facing forward. So we're gonna place this in the bicycle the same way. And then you're gonna make sure that these hook washers go right inside the fork right there. Tighten one down, and then you can rotate it to the other side. Tighten that one down. Tighten both sides. Nice. All right, so next, the handlebars are pretty straight, not perfect, but we're gonna leave it like this, and at the very end, we're gonna tighten it back up and make sure that it's perfectly straight. But first, we're gonna work on this brake lever. The brake lever is pitched pretty far down. It makes it hard for the little guys to grab a handful of brake. So we're gonna loosen this up, and we're gonna rotate it up like so. Maybe just a little bit down. A little bit higher up than a 45 than most of the regular BMX bikes. Mainly because the little guys aren't standing over the handlebars, so they don't need the brake lever set up like that. Next, we're gonna install this cable. So you wanna make sure that it's inside of this fitting here. I'll give you a slack. You could even pop these brakes down here. So what you're gonna do is push on this one here, and then the cable will drop down out of there. And then the same thing on this side. Yeah, it drops out of there. Boom. So that'll give you some slack. All right, now you can run the cable to the brake lever. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna line up these two barrel adjusters and the lock nut with the line on the lever, and there's a hole on the back side. You're gonna drop that in, slide the cable through it, and then put the cable inside of the barrel adjuster. This little guy's a barrel adjuster, and that's the lock nut. So once you do that, you could come back here and do the opposite that you did earlier. Push it in, put the cable in, push this one in, and put the cable in. Now let's go back up to the brake lever. Let's see how good these brakes work. They work like dog shit, so let's fix that. So down here, there's a barrel adjuster. This will pull the slack out. See how much slack you have. You can back this out here. I'm gonna go almost all the way. Turn them together, and that locks them in. Now we go to the lever. Boom, see how hard it's hitting. I'm gonna actually pull a lot harder because I want to stretch this cable. Ooh. Okay, I see some problems back here. We'll fix that in a second. Let's go to this box over here. We got to get something out of here before we go to the next thing. So you got the pedals, you got the reflectors. He don't need these. Those going to X Games. He doesn't need these things. He's gonna beat Garrett Reynolds when he grows up. We got the little tag. And don't forget tools, your owner's manual, stickers. We got pedals, and we got this thing. So this is a little thing we need. I don't know if it's supposed to be pinned on your chest or something, but it reminds me of that. Alright, so we got this little Velcro strap. So what I like to do is face it the way I want it to face, and then I could just put it through the loop. Pull tight, rotate it, push it to the front of the bike. And now that cable's secure, looks nice and very cool. Alright, so let's go to the back. We got a couple things we got to do. So we got to pull these off, and then these little guys are in the way. They're kind of making some noise. So when I go back here and I see the brakes, I notice that one brake arm's hitting and the other one isn't. Before you start adjusting the brakes, the first thing you want to do is look up here to make sure that the tire is center and the back wheel is center in the frame. If it's not centered, that might be the cause of the brake pads hitting different. or one first before the other one. So we're gonna fix this. I showed you in another video, but this way I think will be a little bit clear, or a little clearer. If you watch the other video and you've seen it, let us know if this way is a lot cleaner or easier to see. I would definitely love to hear your take on this. Actually, we're gonna have to switch this bad boy around because I'm trying to make it so you can see. That's the goal, right? That's the problem, is that you can't see. Oh man, look at this. All right, there we go. Now we're secure. Need a couple tools. So you're gonna need an adjustable wrench or the specific size that fits that. I think this one's like a 14 or something like that. But we're gonna skip all that. The top bolt's gonna be a 5. Let's just double check. Yes sir, it's a 5. Okay, so what's going on is this brake pad is almost hitting the rim, and this one has a very big gap. When it has a very big gap, it means that this spring is tensioned more than the other side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna relieve some of the tension on this spring so that this brake pad moves over and the pads are evenly next to the rim. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. The hardest thing for people to understand is how these springs work. They mix them up all the time. They don't know how they spin, and I'm gonna explain the easiest way to understand this. So if you look at this spring, it is literally like a snake, right? So it coils itself around there, right? So it has a little pin on one side, and think of it as you want the snake to coil around your brakes, and then you want its tail to push your brakes which direction you want. So its tail's right here. If we turn the bolt counterclockwise, it's gonna make the brakes stiffer, or the spring more. If we go the other way, we're gonna release the spring and the tension, and it's gonna make the brake pad go inward. So using that philosophy, we're gonna use the same thing, but there's a couple little tricks that you can do to help fix this or make it easier for you. So one of them, on the left side, you're gonna have to hold the Allen as you're turning this, but on this side we lucked out because the actual nut, the tension nut on the top, is spinning clockwise because we need to loosen this. So it's spinning clockwise, and it's actually going to be tightening that bolt on top. So we don't want to loosen it up or rotate it too much, because what it'll do is it'll be too loose or move the cable or the brake pad into the wrong spot. So I'm gonna slowly hit it. So I'm rotating it, hitting the brakes. See how that pad's getting closer to the rim. Getting closer, just a hair. Boom. Easy. Now, let me run it back over there. Go back to the same spot. Let me show you. So, see it right there? Now, I'm going to go back. Actually, I'm not going to go back. Actually, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. You guys got to see this, so I'll show you it. All right. So now I'm going to hold this. All right. And then I'm going to rotate it back. See that brake pad come out? That brake pad pulled out quite a bit because I'm putting more tension on it. So now let's screw it in this way. And then let me tap it to reset it. There you go. See, even brake pads. Super easy. Makes it easier for you to adjust the brake pads. And it actually, when you're loosening the tension too, what that does, it also makes it softer to pull. So if the brakes are a little too hard for your kid to pull, you can loosen up those springs, and it will help him be able to grab it a lot easier. All right, so we got that. Next up is installing air. So you're gonna need a pump. If you're not too sure of how much air to put in here, there's a great spot on this tire that will show you exactly how much to put. So right here, it's gonna say 35 to 60 PSI. That's pounds per square inch. And it's going, oh shoot. You're gonna pump it up to that amount of air, And this is the gauge that you use. Mine's a little beat up, but it works. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put that pump and you're gonna pump it up anywhere in between the 35 to 65 psi. So 40 is cool with me. Put the valve cap on, go to the front. There's good. Sweet. Like that. Next, we got the pedals. Got these heavy duty Kink pedals. One's for the right side and one's for the left side. The right side has smooth threads. I mean, it's smooth on the side compared to this one. And this one has regular threads. So you're gonna spin this on like you normally will. And this is the left side that has lines on it. And this one you're gonna put it on the left side, and this has opposite threads. So you gotta put a little bit of grease on it. Some good poly lube. Don't use car grease or anything like that. It's a little too thick and sticky. This stuff is really thin, easy to apply, very lightweight. So just go around and roll these on there. Boom. Most pedals are pretty tight where you could get them started by just spinning them. We're gonna do the same for the other side. Take your pedal wrench, back pedal, snug them down. See if you can snug that one down. All right, next we're gonna go through the side bolts first, just to double check. The top, other side. Yeah, everything's on there. Cool. So we got everything there. So got it all built up front to back. We just gotta straighten the bars again. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So looking down, oh man, this is perfect actually. Dang, nice. First tee. So we're gonna tighten up these side bolts again. If you tighten these up and this headset is shaky, or you can feel kind of shaking there, you can loosen the bolts up a little bit and then tighten this top bolt up. This is a compression bolt. It pulls all the headset bearings together, and then you can tighten up the side ones. Keep in mind that on this bolt here, you don't want to tighten it up till it stops. It's just a compression bolt, so you could keep cranking it and it'll just make the headset tighter, and your bars won't want to spin. So the idea is tighten it enough where it doesn't have any play, but is tight enough where the bars can still spin as well. So keep that in mind. Also too, I am not going to put grease on this yet, but you should definitely put a thin amount of grease around the seat post. I'm just going to lower it down so that it looks kind of cool. But overall, that's pretty much everything that you need to know about building up the Kink Carve 16-inch bike. If you want one of these bikes for your kid, head over to stackbmx.com and put this inside of your garage.